You needed your palate cleansed?
Yeah.
Usually you're like, more weed in my mouth.
Yeah, I just want to like take him in my mouth.
Okay, wow. That's fun.
No,
I would say pick up issue number 2. I think they left.
Don't pick up this.
The end of this issue is setting up some interesting stuff, and I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm going to be on board with
I'm
issue
absolutely
number
on board just because I love the Runaways
Yeah.
so much. But I don't feel like this was a gangbuster first issue.
Yeah.
I feel like they very easily could have kept the numbering going, and that would have been fine.
I agree, though I will say the writing is nice. It's wittier. It's funny.
Yeah,
I laughed
it's
out
very
loud
good.
a couple of times. Yeah. So I'm saying that's cool.
Sweet.
Alright.
All right, let's move on. Talk about DC Universe Last Will and Testament number 1. Okay, here's my challenge for you guys. Ready? When does this take place?
Yeah.
When does this issue take place?
And I think that speaks to a larger problem with Final Crisis right now. There's so much going on. Like this Superman Beyond 3D issue, it's like, where is he? When is this happening?
But I feel
And
like
literally they're like, we've stopped time, Superman, so you can go on this mission. Because right now you're doing 9 things.
This, okay, just for those of you who didn't read it, this takes place on the night before the big battle in Final Crisis where eventually evil wins. And it shows what everybody does the night before the big battle. Now, here's the thing. I've been reading Final Crisis.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any big battles so far.
Yeah.
And there's all these references to, like, Clark doesn't think we're going to win this.
Yeah.
And Superman has no idea what's going on. In fact, he's beyond as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
What is this?
And here's the thing, it's so referential to such DC Universe minutia. It's such an insidery book. They make a reference, it's Brad Meltzer. He makes a reference to Primal Force. Now, if anyone out there knows Primal Force, please raise your hand and comment below, because that's an insane reference. While it was a good series, back in Zero Hour, why would you reference Primal Force?
Here's one thing.
All right.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Let's get past the whole timeline issue and talk about the actual comic. I feel like what I had a problem with is they make this guy look like a douchebag.
Geoforce.
Yeah, Geoforce for the
They don't
whole.
have to go too far to make Geoforce look.
Well,
Who
yeah,
likes Geoforce?
yeah, but I'm just saying, Geoforce looks like a douchebag, and then it's like at the end he looks like a hero, even though he was a douchebag throughout the whole thing. The only saving grace was there was some cool, like, touching moments. Like, I really liked the sit down with Clark and his father. I thought that was really cool.
Here's what I'm going to say about this issue. Just, again, stepping away from the timeline, which is such a sticking point and so hard to get past in this issue. Yeah, Adam Kubert and Joe Kubert on art, which is so wonderful, and they're exchanging scenes, which is amazing.
And the styles go,
And
like, it's very...
the whole idea of
the
Brad
art
Meltzer
really works.
following up on what he did with Geoforce's run, once again writing Deathstroke, that scene in Identity Crisis with Deathstroke, taking down the JLA, one of the best scenes in DC, I think, of all time.
Yeah.
And to revisit that is so good, and I wish this had been entirely independent of Final Crisis, because I feel like nobody told Brad Meltzer what was going on in Final Crisis, and then he went ahead and wrote this.
And
because as an individual issue, it's wonderful.
As I read the issue, I moved past the timeline, and I thought this was actually a really good read, especially if you really know your DC stuff, because it's like a kind of a love lettery type thing, and that's what Mr. Meltzer's been doing.